Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to something a little bit different from what we've done the previous 2 weeks. The previous 2 weeks, we were doing tier 3 commentary, and now all of a sudden we get thrown into the deep end in tier 1. I think this is going to be a fun race around Monza, and hell, why not? Let's throw a little bit of rain into the mix. I'm hoping for rain. Let's make it a total exciting race. I think that would be a great spanner in the works. So, tier 1. I haven't really kept up with it, but let's see what's going to happen. Looking at the standings, let's see what the standings is telling us in tier 1. It doesn't seem to be showing anything. Oh yes, Australia got cancelled. For those who don't know, for all the viewers who don't know, tier 1 Australia got cancelled due to some issues with the, I think it was the connection or something. Then, looking at the standings, it was as per the first race result in Austria. We've got Mitch, then Stell, then Bloodwave, Brock, Benny Buno, all the way from tier 3 last season up into 5th already in the championship. What a great result for him in the first race. Then we've got Alupalu, great driver. I had a nice battle with him in the sprint race actually earlier this, 2 weeks ago was it? Then we've got Staber, Mendley, Stege, Adam, Rula, Daxi, the Naked Champ, Jack, Terminator. Okay, so that's some of the standings that I've got there. So Terminator is first on track. Terminator's been in ALR for a long time. I've seen him drive a couple of times. A great driver if he can get everything hooked up. He normally does tend to get involved in silly battles, but you know, it is what it is. You can't sometimes move away from those battles. So I'm not going to put the telemetry on the inside as of yet, as we see Terminator on his outlap just invalidating it. You know what, let's put the telemetry on. We can see if they are on a flying lap. So Terminator in the Aston Martin will be the first person to lead us into a lap around Monza tier 1. So coming out of Parabolica onto the main straight, DRS open. It's a great run. They're going to be maxing out the cars. It's just after the 150 meter board, he breaks into second. Third to get that better traction. You can see there was still a little bit of wheel spin coming out of the second corner. Now the Curva Grande through turn 3. Now going into turn 4. That next chicane down into 4th. Interesting choice of gear. 4th, getting good traction now into Lesmo 1. Is he going to have a good run? He doesn't seem to be running too wide in Lesmo 1. What's going to be the story in Lesmo 2? The rear end getting a little bit loose, but that front end is very sharp on the Aston Martin of Terminator. Coming into the second sector split, 53.079 on his total lap time. A great run through Ascari. You can see the car was just getting a little bit loose as he's getting close to that McLaren. A lot closer than you might have wanted to be. Now all the way up to Ascari. What's the time going to be? As he almost he loses the rear end and he runs wide. And he's not invalidated, but he can still go for it. And a 119.9. He might be a little bit disappointed with that lap, as he has to look at something a lot better. As we look at the AlphaTauri into Lesmo 1. Now Lesmo 2, and he's on the medium tires, so I think he's just putting a banker on. So let's move to Alupalo, who's definitely on a run. Got some slipstream from his teammate, a 1:19.7 as he goes into P1 for the time being. And he's definitely, he might have given, he didn't really give his teammate much slipstream. As we see Stege going a 1:18.18, that's a proper lap from Stege. Just showing the pace, as we are quite used to from Stege. As we saw the AlphaTauri, who's on the mediums, a 1:19.5, great lap from him. That might, if you put on the softs, he might be able to do goes, I'd say 7/10, 8/10 quicker than that, maybe a full second. Now, as we go to Bloodwave, going through the Parabolica, and he's really pushing that car. You could see as the nose was just twitching a little bit, and he goes into second, 1:18.9. Great lap from Bloodwave. As we see Brock in the Alfa Romeo also coming up towards the Parabolica. Will this lap be any good for Brock? We know he's got some good pace, a 1:19.3. He will be disappointed with that. As we see Boba going into third place. What a lap from him in the Haas car. Now going to, as Dax did back out, as we see Big Turns doing his lap, coming up to the end of sector 2. What will this be? A 53.198. That's currently slower than what Terminator has managed. A lot smoother through Ascari from Big Turns compared to what we saw from Terminator now coming up to the Parabolica. Will he be able to hold that rear end more than what Terminator was able to? As he runs towards the line, and he just pops up in front of Terminator, as we saw Stel on a lap as he's about to complete it, and he goes up into third place in the Alpine. What a lap from Stel. Now Rolo is definitely on a lap through Lesmo 1, now going through Lesmo 2. He looks to be smooth on the power, the car looks stable. What will he be able to manage in sector 2? He's currently 1.3 seconds off from what we saw from Terminator. This will definitely put him last place if he does complete this lap. We see Big Turns, Roller Ruler now coming into the Parabolica. Is he going to make a ditch for it into the pits? No, he's not. He's going to complete the lap, and it's a 1:21.5. That's way off the pace. I think he must have made a mistake in sector 1 or sector 2 during his lap. As we see Jack now going through the Curva Grande. Now going into turn 4, that chicane, very difficult chicane. You have to ride it as much as you can. And you can see the rear end getting very loose as he's trying to hit as much curb as possible into Lesmo 1. He can really drift it wide as he almost invalidates, but he's just lucky. You can see the rear end just wanting to go as he invalidates his lap. And that's the end of Jack's lap. As we see Aries. But Mitch is in front of him on a lap. Mitch eating the curb. They're really taking advantage of the track limits as much as they can. Mitch going through Lesmo 1, very smooth, very fast. Now Lesmo 2 using all the track possible. A 52.7. Currently this looks like it will be a lap that will put him around P5 as well. He will be close to Brock. I do know that. He's going to run to the line. Parabolica first. Is he going to keep the rear end intact? Is he going to keep the rear end stable? He's using all the track possible as he makes a run towards the line. And he jumps up into 4th place. 2 tenths in front of Brock. As we see, Aero's also a great lap in 5th place in the Mercedes. Just making his mark known as well. As we see, Jack will definitely be coming. As Jack is actually on another lap. He did cool down for that last sector before starting another lap. Where will Jack be? Great Jack's driving. He has been a very underrated driver in my opinion in ALR. He's got the pace. Now he just needs to convert it on race day. Can he convert it in quali first? 53.0. Now, a great run through Ascari. His ERS is going to run low towards the run down to the line. Where will this put the Aston Martin driver? He's keeping that car nice and stable. He ran a little bit wide and he's definitely going to go top 10. And he does. 9th place. Well done. I think Jack just needs to look at maybe improving his lap again. So we see Staber on another lap. Turn 1. 3rd to get that wheel spin down. He wants to get the best traction possible. What's his time going to be? Can he improve on his first sector time? As we see him run towards his 1/10 slower compared to his fastest lap currently. As he hits that second chicane perfectly. Now Lesmo, he needs to use as much track as possible. Get that wheels onto the white line basically. As we see him go through Lesmo too. Very good run from Staber. Now going towards sector 2. What's the split going to be? He's currently almost identical to his previous run. As we see him go wide and he invalidates his lap, all the hard work is gone. As we swift to Brock in the Alfa Romeo, he's definitely going to want to get pole today. As we see Daxi going into P2, I missed that. Now Brock 2 tenths up. He knows Ascarius where he missed up a little bit. He missed a lot of time in Ascari previous lap. He needs to find another 2 tenths improvement to get anywhere near pole position. As we see Bloodwave going into provisional pole. As we know, they all will have another run. Brock made a small mistake into Parabolica. He's going to lose a lot of time. As we see Brock go into P4. Stege also jumping up into P2 with another lap. And he is very close to Bloodwave. This is going to be very close for pole position. Now, as Boba coming towards Parabolica, can he get himself anywhere close to the top 6? Can he find 2 or 3 tenths as he backs out of his lap? Now, as we see big turns, his teammate is done with his lap. Alupalu currently starting laps. Let's ride on board with Alu. Now, Alupalu, what's the first sector? It's 9 thousandths quicker than his previous run. But anything will do at this stage. He can find speed throughout the lap. Lesmo 1, he didn't use all the track possible. That will definitely cost him some time. Same with Lesmo 2. He didn't use all the track possible. He's going to lose a tenth or 2 through Lesmo 1 and 2. What's the split going to be? He is 3 tenths up on his previous lap. Going into Ascari, what's Alu going to do? Can he maybe try and fight against the top 7, top 6? He's got the pace. We all know it. He just needs to be calm. He needs to prevent making a mistake here into the Parabolica. He's going to do it. I think this might be a lap putting him in top 8. Will it be a top 8? No, it's going to be a top 10. 10th place for Alu. There's definitely more potential in that lap. As we see Mitch coming towards the end of Sector 2. You see him 2 tenths up. 2 tenths up will currently put him around P3, P4. Can he convert it? As we see the Ferrari driver who won the previous race. He's got some big expectations on his shoulders. Now running towards the line. What's Mitch going to do? Can he take pole? No, he can't. He's in third place. It's very tight between pole position and P5. I'd say P6 even. I'd say the top 6 can all get pole position. As we see Stoll currently coming out. One of the potential drivers to get pole position. He's warming up those tires, riding on the brakes a little bit. Just saving the ERS. Can Stoll do anything? Can he grab pole position? I'd say that would be a great upset story around Monza. You see Stoll using all the track, getting as much speed as possible. Into 8th. There is cars coming out of the pits. No one's going to be impeding him. He's got a clear run to the end of the lap. What's Stoll going to be able to do as we see him going into 3rd? A lot of drivers using 3rd to get the best traction out of turn 2. So we go through turn 3, which isn't really a turn. It's just a kink in a straight, basically. We see him run towards turn 4. He had a small lock up there. That might have cost him a little bit. What's Stoll going to be able to do in Lesmo 1? He just needs to keep it within track limits. He's got the potential to improve on his time. What can the Alpine driver have in his first sector split? He's 2.5 tenths quicker. That will definitely be fighting for pole position. Can he get that last tenth within the last sector through Ascari? Very neat and tidy. He just shouldn't make any mistake into Parabolica. He needs to run it very tight. Get that perfect run. 6th gear, 7th gear. Where's this going to put Stoll? Is this going to be pole position? And it's pole position for Stoll. He's currently provisional on pole. As we move to Mendley, as he got a good slipstream from his teammate, is he going to give the honours back to his teammate as he goes into 4th place? What a lap from the Red Bull driver. Giving his teammate a bit of slipstream back. As we see Steger starting his lap in the Mercedes. Steger is another driver that will be fighting for pole position. He just needs to find that 10th to get in front of Stoll. He's got the pace to do it. He just needs to fight for it. What's the first sector going to be? It looked very smooth through the first 3 corners. And he's a 10.5 slower than his previous lap. This is not good for Stoll. He knows where he can find time. Can he break even at least going into Sector 2? Through Lesmo 1. He's fighting that car. He's using all the track possible. As you can see, he's drifting almost. What can Steger do? What can he do? What can he do? Steger is currently 200ths quicker than his previous best. As he's going to get a good run through Ascari. Where's this going to put Steger? Coming into Parabolica. Steger's now got the best run. A nice and tight run into Parabolica. Where's this going to put Steger? As he just couldn't improve. He lost time on his final run. As we see an Aston Martin coming towards the line. That will definitely be Jack. What's Jack going to be able to do? Going up to the line. Can he get into the top 10? As we see Jack going into 8th place. What a lap from Jack. Great lap from Jack. As we see one of the McLaren drivers into Parabolica. It's Bloodwave. Where can Bloodwave go? As he dips into the pits. I think he might have made a mistake, lost some time on his lap. As we see a Mercedes driver coming up towards Parabolica. It's Aries. Where's this going to put him? He goes up into 8th place. As we see Dax, he couldn't improve on his time. No improvement from Alu as well. Where's Mitch going to put himself? He invalidated his lap. That means Stel might have pole position here. If Boba can't find time, where's Boba? He did invalidate his lap, even though he did go a 10th and a half quicker. As we see Staber just pimping his teammate, getting the honors in the teammate battle. Stager also done, as that's the end of qualifying. Wow, what a lap from Stel. Might not have had the best first 2 runs, but he definitely had the best run at the end. Now looking at our grid, it's going to be the Alpine of Stel, then Bloodwave, Stager, Men, then Mitch, Dax, Brock, Harris, Sume, Jack, Boba, Staber, Alu, Big Turns, then Neku, then Erminator, and then Rola Rula. This is going to be an interesting grid. I wonder what's going to happen. Now, who's your money on? As the spectators. Let's see who's going to get the win. I've got a good feeling this will be a close battle all the way to the end. Now, running through the grid one more time, we have Stel, Bloodwave, Stager, Men, Mitch, Dax, Brock, Ares, Sume, Jack, Boba, Staber, Alu, Big Turns, Neku, Terminator, and Roller. This is going to be an interesting race. Just looking at the difference between first place and 8th. As we see, Stel has a 5-place grid drop. That'll put him P6. Oh, so Bloodwave does have pole position. This is going to be interesting. I can't wait for the race. I asked and I did receive. We asked for a wet race. We did get a wet race. This is going to be interesting. As we see a lot of drivers leaving, I think there might be an issue with the lobby. It's a mic rating host. You see they did create a new lobby. Let's join it. I'll see you guys soon.